how can you tell your boss? He just paid you. He says, loan me some money. How can you tell him no? So I was doing it. And then the road manager came to me and said, stop giving him money. Because when you're giving him money, you know what he's doing with that money, and you're nailing the nail in his coffin.
At that time, I needed a hit. I came into the studio tweaking. I can't remember when it was. Snow was up to your ass.
George's crack-induced paranoia was at an all-time high.
I came in and said, y'all trying to record without me? Give me the microphone. Give me the thing. So they all looking at me through that window there. So when the track come on, it's backwards.
The sound engineer was simply rewinding the tape.
And I don't know what, I ain't never heard it before, but I don't know. I can't tell what key is in because so I'm trying to play it off like I knew what the fuck was happening. So I started talking. This is the story of famous dog. Why must I feel like that? Why must I chase the cat? Real atonal. I ain't committing to no key or nothing. And then do the dog. I said, wow, that makes sense. Do the dog. So I just did a cappella just like that with the beat. Instead of them telling me that the track was backwards, they left it like that. That became Atomic Dog.
Yeah, this is a story of famous dog. But the dog that chases its tail will be busy.
Suddenly, George Clinton, self-made king of the P-Funk Empire, was back on top as a solo act, even though the players who surrounded him were all the familiar faces.
George knows that if he goes back and he starts using again to any great degree, he's going to fuck up the Atomic Dog tour. So he's with some friends and they're at some drug dealer and he buys drugs and he goes and he makes one crack rock. Let's say it's this big. And that becomes his good luck charm. That rock becomes his rock. And he decides he's not going to smoke it the whole tour. Every time he's tempted, he's going to look at that and he's going to realize, I need you to stay intact. That's what's going to get me through this tour. So he plays marbles with it backstage, jingles it with his pocket change, and he keeps to it. This rock keeps him off of using for the whole tour, post-Atomic Dog. They finish up the tour, they have an extra date or two in LA, and he decides, okay, now I'm going to reward myself.
He chose to take his victory lap at the Renaissance Hotel.
So he gets into full lotus position, naked, on the bed, and he decides he's going to smoke this good luck rock. And he's lighting it up, and he would put tissues in his nose because the fumes would get to him. So he's lighting it, and the tissue that's in his nose catches on fire. So in kind of a panic, he sneezes, and the tissue paper shoots out across the room. And it lands at the base of the drapes. And like there's gasoline on them, they go up like crazy. And George realizes, oh shit. So he tries to get off the bed, but he's in lotus position. So he falls off the bed like a crab or an open pair of scissors or something. And he's just there floundering on the ground, crawls over, reaches up, grabs at the drapes, rips the curtain off the wall. And then he stands up and the hotel backs on an office. So everybody who's in the office is looking at a full frontal naked George Clinton with charred curtains in one hand, crack pipe in the other. Now he doesn't even care if they see him naked. He's fanning the smoke alarm and freaking out. And then he calls down to the desk because he's sure the cops are coming. And with his calmest voice, he says, yes, hello, this is George Clinton in room whatever. I was smoking a cigarette and your smoke alarm accidentally went off. I extinguished it immediately, but I just wondered if there had been any problem with that. And the woman at the desk says, no, Mr. Clinton, it was fine. Then he becomes incredibly paranoid. He gets dressed and he goes down to the lobby. And he does these kind of slow movements up and back past the desk to see if they're looking at him funny. I think by the third or fourth time, they probably are looking at him funny. No one says anything. He's calm. He goes back up. And the next day, I think he tips the maid an extra $75 to get the whole place cleaned up.
While Atomic Dog